7 isometric exercises that transform the Navy SEALs into brute strength machines. When we talk about Navy SEALs, many people imagine impossible training sessions, special equipment, and monstrous loads. The truth is quite different. Some of the exercises that transform these guys into brute strength machines are simple isometric exercises, done only with body weight. That's because body weight exercises are extremely efficient for building rigidity, stability, and absurd endurance. And the best part, anyone can do them at home. That's why today you'll see 7 isometric exercises that the SEALs use to create a body capable of resisting cold, fatigue, and extreme loads. Before we begin, please tell us through the comments your name and the city where you're watching our content from. We'd love to know. The Navy SEALs don't choose exercises by chance. They need a body that can hold uncomfortable positions for minutes, maintain stability under irregular loads, and resist mental fatigue when every second counts. That's where isometrics come in. Unlike traditional dynamic movements, isometric contractions build deep joint stability, something that saves knees and shoulders on irregular terrain. They also develop strength at specific angles, exactly where you need it most in real situations. Imagine holding a wet rope or maintaining a steady aim for minutes. Traditional weight training makes you strong in movement, but isometrics make you strong in position. Additionally, there's the psychological factor. Holding an uncomfortable position for 60 seconds trains the mind not to give up when the body screams to stop. This mental rigidity is as valuable as the physical one. You build a body more resistant to injuries, more capable in daily life, and yes, visibly more defined. If one of the toughest groups in the world practices these exercises, it's because they really work. Let's get to the movements. Exercise number 7. Static farmer's carry. The Navy SEALs carry heavy equipment over long distances, but before walking, they need to be able to simply hold the load without it falling. The static farmer's carry is the foundation of this. This exercise primarily works grip strength, but its benefits go far beyond. When you hold dead weights beside your body, you're building steel forearms, rigid upper traps, and a core that needs to stabilize against lateral load. Your posture is forced to align perfectly, or the weight simply pulls you to the side. For the SEALs, this translates to the ability to hold equipment in adverse conditions. To execute correctly, grab dumbbells, kettlebells, or any weight that challenges your grip. Stand with feet shoulder-width apart, holding the weights beside your body with arms completely extended. Shoulders should be pulled back and down, chest open, eyes forward. Start with 30 to 45 seconds of hold. This may seem short, but with adequate weight, it's challenging. Do 3 to 4 sets with 60 to 90 seconds of rest between them. As your grip strength improves, increase the time first, reaching 60 or 75 seconds, and only then increase the weight. Progression should be gradual so tendons and ligaments adapt along with muscles. The most common mistake is relaxing the shoulders, letting them rise toward the ears. This removes trap activation and overloads the wrong muscles. Another mistake is leaning the body sideways, compensating for lack of core strength. Your body should form a straight vertical line. Many also choose weights that are too light. If you can hold for more than 90 seconds without real effort, it's time to increase the load. People with wrist, elbow, or shoulder injuries should be careful or temporarily avoid. If you have lower back problems, make sure your technique is impeccable, as any lateral tilt can aggravate the condition. Those with high blood pressure should monitor intensity, as holding heavy weights can temporarily elevate blood pressure. Exercise number 6. Bottom position push-up isometric hold. If there's an exercise that separates those who have real strength from those who just look strong, it's this one. The bottom position push-up isometric hold is brutal. The SEALs use this to build stability in the chest, shoulders, and triceps at an angle where most people are weak. When you descend in a normal push-up, there's a point where your muscles are most elongated and vulnerable. It's exactly there that this exercise forces you to stay. This recruits deep muscle fibers that dynamic movements simply don't reach. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Having constant access to science-based information is what will make you progress with long-term health in the world of bodybuilding. Get in traditional push-up position, hands slightly wider than shoulders, body in a straight line from head to heels. Now descend until your elbows form a 90-degree angle or slightly less. Your arms should be close to your body, not too open. The chest stays a few inches from the floor. Keep the core contracted as if you were going to take a punch to the stomach, and glutes slightly active to prevent the hips from dropping. For beginners, start with 10 to 15 seconds. It seems short, but in this position, it's intense. Do 3 sets with 60 seconds rest between them. As you get stronger, increase the time to 20, then 30 seconds. When you can hold 30 seconds easily, consider adding a weighted backpack or elevating your feet on a bench. Mistake number 1 is letting the hips drop, transforming your body into an inverted U. This removes all tension from the core and overloads the lower back. Another common mistake is raising the shoulders toward the ears, which removes scapular stability and puts unnecessary stress on the shoulders. Many also shake excessively right from the start, a sign that they chose a variation that's too advanced. If this happens, do the version with knees supported first. People with shoulder, elbow, or wrist injuries should avoid or consult a physical therapist first. If you have lower back problems, make sure your core is really activated. Otherwise, don't do it. Those with very high blood pressure should be cautious, as the inverted position can be uncomfortable. Exercise number 5, L-sit isometric hold. The L-sit isometric hold is one of the most underestimated exercises for building absolute core strength and hip flexor strength. The SEALs use this because there's no room for weakness in the abdomen when you're carrying heavy equipment or climbing obstacles. This exercise works the rectus abdominis, obliques, and especially the iliopsoas intensely, in addition to requiring considerable shoulder strength to maintain support. Sit on the floor with legs extended forward. Place your hands on the floor beside your hips, fingers pointing forward. Press the floor with your palms and push your body up, keeping legs straight and suspended a few inches from the ground. Your shoulders should be depressed, away from your ears. Beginners should start with 5 to 10 seconds. This can be humiliating at first, but it's enough to start building the necessary strength. Do 3 to 4 sets with 90 seconds of rest. When you can hold 15 to 20 seconds with good form, you can start working more advanced variations, like the L-sit on parallel bars or rings, which require even more stabilization. A brutal mistake I see is letting the shoulders rise, which removes stability and puts tension on the wrong muscles. Another common mistake is bending the knees slightly to make it easier, but this destroys the purpose of the exercise. If you can't keep your legs straight, first work the version with bent knees, called the L-sit tuck. Many also lean the trunk back too much, which removes intensity from the core. People with wrist injuries should use padded supports or temporarily avoid. If you have hip flexor or groin problems, this exercise can aggravate the condition if done without adequate progression. Those with inguinal hernia should completely avoid until receiving medical clearance. Exercise number 4, side plank. The side plank is where you discover if your core is really strong or if you just have developed abs. The SEALs can't afford to have lateral imbalances. When you carry a heavy backpack asymmetrically or need to stabilize yourself on irregular terrain, it's the obliques and quadratus lumborum that save you. This exercise works the internal and external obliques, transversus abdominis, and deep spine stabilizers intensely. Lie on your side with forearms supported on the floor, elbow directly below the shoulder. Legs should be extended and stacked one on top of the other. Raise your hip from the floor until your body forms a straight line from feet to head. The free arm can stay beside your body or point upward. The key is not letting the hip drop or rise too much. Start with 20 to 30 seconds on each side. Do 3 sets with 45 to 60 seconds of rest. When you can hold 45 seconds on each side easily, you can progress by raising the top leg, which drastically increases difficulty by demanding more from the gluteus medius and obliques. Another progression is doing the side plank with extended arm instead of forearm. The most common mistake is letting the hip drop, transforming your body into an arch. This happens when strength in the obliques isn't sufficient. If this occurs, do the version with the bottom knee supported on the floor. Another mistake is rotating the trunk forward or backward, losing lateral alignment. Many also tense the neck too much, looking upward, which causes unnecessary discomfort. People with shoulder, elbow, or wrist injuries should adjust the position or avoid. If you have lower back problems, start with shorter versions and make sure your core is activated before increasing time. Those with herniated disc should consult a specialist, as lateral loading can be problematic depending on the injury location. Exercise number 3, bar hang. The bar hang, also called dead hang, is possibly the simplest isometric exercise to execute, but its benefits go far beyond the obvious. For the SEALs, grip strength can literally save lives. Hanging on a rope, climbing obstacles, carrying wounded companions. All of this requires that your hands don't fail. The bar hang works all the grip musculature, from the forearms to the intrinsic muscles of the hands. Grab a pull-up bar with pronated grip, slightly wider than shoulder width. Let your body hang freely, arms completely extended. Your shoulders should be relaxed, allowing them to naturally rise toward your ears from the traction. Don't force the shoulders down in this exercise, as the goal is to allow total decompression. Beginners should start with 15 to 20 seconds. It seems easy, but when the grip starts to fail, you feel it. Do 3 to 4 sets with 60 seconds of rest. As your grip strength improves, increase the time to 30, 45, and eventually 60 seconds. When you can hold 60 seconds easily, you can progress to more challenging grips, like supinated grip or towel grip. A common mistake is trying to force the shoulders down and retract the scapulae, transforming the exercise into something different. The goal here is traction and grip strengthening, not an active hang. Another mistake is swinging the body excessively, using momentum, which removes part of the benefit. Many also choose bars that are too thin or too thick. The ideal thickness allows you to close your hand around it without excessive effort. People with shoulder injuries, especially in the rotator cuff, should consult a specialist first. If you have serious spine problems, like severe herniated disc, talk to your doctor, as traction can be contraindicated in some cases. Those with tennis elbow should avoid until the condition improves. Exercise number 2, hollow body hold. If you want to understand what real core stability is, the hollow body hold will teach you in the most honest way possible. This exercise comes from Olympic gymnastics and was adopted by the SEALs because it creates total body rigidity that's impossible to replicate with traditional ab exercises. When you maintain the hollow position, your entire body needs to work as an integrated unit. The rectus abdominis is forced to keep the lower back glued to the floor against gravity pulling your arms and legs. The hip flexors are recruited intensely, and your core learns to stabilize in an extremely vulnerable position. For the SEALs, this translates to the ability to keep the body rigid during explosive movements, falls, and impacts. For you, it means a core that finally functions as it should. Lie on your back on the floor. Extend your arms above your head and legs straight forward. Now press the lower back against the floor, completely eliminating the natural arch. To do this, you need to contract the abdomen and posteriorly tilt the pelvis. Then, raise your shoulders and legs from the floor, keeping arms and legs completely extended. Your body should form a smooth curve, like the inside of a spoon. The lower back can never leave the floor. If it does, you've lost the position and need to reset. Start with 10 to 15 seconds. This exercise is deceptive. It seems easy until you try. Do 3 sets with 60 seconds of rest. When you can hold 30 seconds with good form, you can progress to more challenging versions, like the hollow body rock, where you subtly rock back and forth maintaining the position. The most brutal mistake is letting the lower back arch and leave the floor. This happens when you raise your legs and arms too much and your core can't handle it. If this occurs, bend your knees or keep your arms beside your body until you develop more strength. Another common mistake is tensing the neck too much, trying to look at your feet. Your neck should be relaxed, with gaze directed slightly upward. Many also hold their breath, which causes premature fatigue. People with lower back problems should exercise extreme caution. If you can't keep the lower back on the floor, this exercise can aggravate injuries. Start with simpler versions, like hollow body with bent knees. Those with herniated disc should avoid until receiving medical clearance. Pregnant women should completely avoid due to excessive abdominal pressure. Exercise number 1, wall squat. The wall squat is the silent nightmare of leg muscles. It seems simple, almost innocent, but after 30 seconds, you understand why the SEALs use this to build insane muscular endurance. Unlike dynamic squats, where you can use momentum and rest briefly at the top or bottom, here, there's no respite. Your quadriceps are forced to maintain continuous contraction to prevent you from sliding down the wall. The exercise primarily works the vastus lateralis, vastus medialis, and rectus femoris, but also recruits the glutes and adductors isometrically. For the SEALs, this develops the ability to maintain squatting positions for prolonged periods, essential in surveillance or infiltration situations. For you, it means more resistant quadriceps, more stable knees, and a functional ability to squat without quick fatigue. Lean your back against a wall and step forward. Slide your back down the wall until your thighs are parallel to the floor, forming a 90-degree angle at the knees. Your knees should be aligned with your ankles, not extending past the line of your toes. Feet are shoulder-width apart. Your back should be completely glued to the wall, from lower back to shoulders. Arms can be crossed on chest or relaxed beside your body. Distribute weight evenly between both feet and breathe in a controlled manner. Start with 20 to 30 seconds. This will burn your quadriceps faster than you imagine. Do 3 to 4 sets with 60 to 90 seconds of rest. When you can hold 60 seconds easily, you can progress by raising one foot from the floor, which doubles the difficulty by putting all the load on one leg only. Another progression is holding a weight in your lap, increasing resistance. The most common mistake is letting the knees extend past the feet, which puts excessive stress on the knee joint. Another mistake is not descending to 90 degrees, making the exercise easier by reducing the working angle. Many also take their back off the wall to compensate for fatigue, but this eliminates the exercise's benefit. If you can't maintain the position, rise slightly to an angle you can sustain with good form. People with knee injuries, especially chondromalacia patellae or tendinitis, should avoid or only do at higher angles until strengthening the surrounding musculature. If you have lower back problems, make sure your back is completely supported on the wall. Those with very high blood pressure should monitor, as intense isometric effort can temporarily elevate pressure. If you enjoyed this and want to discover 6 other isometric exercises that will transform your entire lower body, we've left a video appearing right now on the screen, showing each one of them better. Don't miss it. Thank you for watching until here, and may God bless you, my friend.